Miel is quiet. She has a very strong mother, a matriarch of the family, who is set in her ways, and then she has a very strong sister, Marike, who has a little more life experience than her in the sense of what it's like to be a wife and a mother. And I think Miel is kind of stuck in the middle of everything, and she deals with her anxiety in a different way. She doesn't quite understand how to verbalize what she's feeling, and maybe she doesn't quite understand what she is feeling, but she uses a vice, just like many of us use some sort of vice in order to pass through these anxious thoughts, anxious feelings that sometimes we don't know how to control. And that's why she smokes in the movie. It's a way to calm her down and ground her, so that she's not pulled away by these thoughts that overwhelm her. It was really interesting to know that Miriam Taves herself was part of a Mennonite community and she had used her own experience and put it into the book. Even though this is a fictional tale, it's so interesting to be able to imagine what this would be like derived from the real life events over the course of 24, 48 hours with these women and the topics that they are able to discuss. I think Miriam Taves really dug deep with this one, and it means so much more knowing that she comes from experience. This film is the first opportunity the women get to be alone without the men, and the first time they get to voice their opinions, think, talk, progress, change perspective without someone telling them that they cannot do something. They have it's the first time they have the freedom to do this within their own setting amongst their female peers, and it's about hope, it's about progression, it's about taking your power back. And the discussions in this film not only complement those themes and relate directly to the story, but I think it also expands much deeper than that, and it could be reflective of the entire world and the state that we're in today. The strength and power she can hold within a character, I mean, is amazing. She has such this persona, this stance within her, and it really kind of transcended into Scarface, who is, I think, the anchor holding them back. I think that's what her character represents, is that she is staying true to her faith. She's staying true to what she knows. She's staying true to her position, and she doesn't want to let go. Judith Ivey is lovely. I'm so happy that she played Agata. She really was the voice of reason in this film, and also kind of represented the faith in the film. Like, there's a few times we do some prayers and some singing, and she's always the one to initiate that. So she's kind of the through line of, like, no matter what happens, we will always have our faith. Love will always come first. The costumes were absolutely authentic. Kita Alfred, who did the costume design, she did a ton of research. And I even went in for my costume fitting. I spent an hour and a half with her on the computer, and she showed me all of her research and all of the ways that she was able to fabricate these costumes authentic to the Mennonite community. She even wore some of the dresses to kind of get in the style. She went to Mennonite communities, got information from them to make sure what she was building is true to their regular daily garb. The headscarves were put on very specifically. So there's a lot of care and detail that went into these costumes, and they have a lot to represent. So they may just be a costume, but they also are a representation of tradition for these people. Sarah's style is just inclusive and supportive, and also I think it's very visionary and beautiful. When you see the film, you'll see it's not just women talking, it is jam-packed with the most beautiful imagery, and you know that just came from her brain. You know she saw it prior to filming, and I just think that's just so lovely. My favorite is when Rooney Mara brought a fart machine onto set and hid it in a hay bale because she wanted us to laugh authentically, because it's very hard to laugh while you're on film. Like, if you pretend it can come across like just very static. So we didn't know about this, and she hid it. And at first, I was very surprised. I thought it was real, and I'm like the kid who will like when everyone in the classroom is told to be quiet, I'll be like giggling in the back because it's too quiet. And so when I heard this, I could not hold it in. I just started laughing. I almost peed my pants laughing. It was so funny. And then it happened again and again. And finally, she revealed that she had hidden a fart machine. But in the film, watching it, the scene where that happened, the laughs are so authentic. And it brings me right back to that moment. I think everyone should really go see this movie in the theater because it generates conversation. It's maybe female driven and female oriented, but the conversations that are derived from this film are all over the place. It's powerful, it's layered, and you can take from it what you want, whether it be multiple things or just one thing. I think that anybody, man or woman, could relate to one of these characters in some way. So I highly encourage people to go see this because, if anything, I would love the conversation to be started